One statistic, I know not everybody's into numbers, but one statistic I didn't give you. The hydrologist who looks at things said that about 30% at the peak of the water was able to go down the cut. Fully 2/3, 65% or so, overflowed the cut and went down Furnace Creek Wash in front of the inn. I'm going to give you some homework here as you head out, when we head out. When you go past the inn, look at that dormitory that's right below the inn. You see that 4-foot rock wall. The floodwaters topped out over that rock wall, put 3 or 4 feet of mud in the employees' dorm rooms, and of course washed away their vehicle. If you follow the walk wall around, it continues towards the Badwater Road. It helps protect the ranch and the Indian village. The water also topped out there, put some mud towards the tennis courts, and some debris and mud came down to the ranch. But realize what would have happened if that rock wall would have failed. If that rock wall would have failed, the water would have went in a straight line, and all of it, most of it, would have went to the ranch and to the Indian village, and there would have been even more devastation. And those of you that might be staying at the ranch wouldn't be staying there now if that rock well hadn't to held. It did hold, and it really diverted the water down, right down to the junction of the Badwater Road where it's intended to go. It wiped out that road, but that can be repaired, and it will be repaired. Yes? The question was, the 3 cars that were here, could they have gotten by the posts? The posts are set up with rocks around it. They probably couldn't have. They probably couldn't have. And by the time they would have realized the need to, it would have been too late because the water would have been flowing here. Even if I was here with them, I wouldn't have realized the need until it was too late and the water would be flowing, and then I would have said, holy cow, and I would have tried to go that way and water would have been flowing that way and would have been stuck just like they were in between saying a prayer or two. Yeah. Now that we realize the force of the flow, would we go in and maybe make the cut bigger? The bottom line answer is, I don't know, but when I think about it, and I think of them doing an environmental impact statement of the pluses and the minuses, if we would have done that in the very beginning 40 years ago, I don't know if the cut would even be there now. So I am not so sure that they would do that. If you look at the cut, making the original part of the cut up high and the softer rock wasn't that hard. Mother Nature has caused an erosion there. But it would be an expensive process to dynamite the solid rock there. You could do it, but to make it wide enough to really carry that much, I have a feeling they're going to look at it and say, and the hydrologist has told us the same thing, because of the way it cut further down by the end of the flood, it will be able to carry a much larger amount of water than it would have in the past. Could it potentially overflow again? Yes, and that's why the parking lot's going to be up over here and not right here, just in case. They're not going to put it in the same spot it was. But no, I don't expect the cut to be enlarged. I don't expect that. Yes?
The 3 cars that were here and only got up on the highway.
Right.
Did they get to drive them out, or what happened to them?
Well, because of all the debris on the road, they were rescued by the rangers in 4-wheel drive vehicles, so they were brought out that day. But I felt sorry for them because throughout the day they're like, our luggage is still in the cars. We're supposed to go to the airport. What are we going to do? It's rental vehicles. So before the end of the day, we brought them back in with a 4-wheel drive vehicle. They got all their luggage out, and they were able to fly out and continue on their vacation. But the cars weren't removed for several days later. They were towed out, and they were all rental cars, and so they were towed out just as the vehicle that had been stranded on the Badwater Road, that was a rental car, that was towed out. I think most of you are aware, the park was closed for 9 days after this flood event. That's totally unprecedented as far as I know. We've had sections closed for days or weeks, but the whole park was closed for 9 days. The afternoon of the day after the flood, we had evacuated everybody from the park except essential personnel. So we took a car caravan out led by the state police of between 400 and 500 people. Everybody from the ranch, the inn was closed for the summer, so it wasn't open, but everybody was out of here. Some of the employees, their jobs weren't going to be going on for a couple of weeks. They headed out. 2 weeks later, we were able to open the ranch. We had the water system up and going by then. The power was back. The phones were back. But a full 9 days, the park was closed, and that was pretty unusual. Yes, sir.
What's the blue thing down there?
The blue thing is the recycle cans that used to be up here. Our personnel have been so busy clearing roads, etc., that nobody's had a chance to retrieve that. I do believe that one of the toilets that was ripped out of here that was left by the roadside somewhere down there has been removed, but a lot of stuff we just haven't got to because there's higher priorities. One or two more questions and then we'll move down the road.
You mentioned the water supply. Is the water still coming from way up above here?
No, no.
Oh.
The water supply is still coming from down below. It's taken from the Travertine Springs area just past the inn and from the Furnace Creek Wash. Because the pipeline goes through the wash, that water exposed and ripped out the pipeline, and so it affected our water supply. So that was one of the very first repair jobs we did, and you can't see most of that because we've reburied the pipeline and graded over it. But yeah, it's down below. They get the water from Travertine Springs. We get 1 million gallons of fresh water a day from those springs. I'd like to move on. Let's walk back slowly and safely. Wait, 1 minute. I'll give you a warning here. Again, like Vicki said, follow in the middle of the road. We're going to be going in and out of the pavement more than a half dozen times. You only did it once here. We're going to be going in and out, so just pay attention to that. Don't go too fast on the gravel. Look at the devastation. We'll be stopping up at the end at Ryan Kiosk.
The battery's totally dead.
Well, I don't know. It could be in season. But look at how solid it is. Yeah, it survived. It survived. You guys see these big sections of riprap here, don't you? I'm talking about where the rocks are contained.
Thank you.